Hey guys, it's day 7, and I am so excited that you are here. Okay, so let's get started. Day 7. Today we are looking at leveling up. Drum rolls, please. Just kidding. Today we're looking at leveling up in your health. In your health, I know. And you're like, what does health have to do with mindset? Well, remember growing up when they told you health is wealth. So without health, irrespective of how much money you have in your account, you are actually very limited because you are so limited, right? When you don't have your health, you're not healthy, you're not fine, you're not okay. You have to, you're under this pressure, and so it affects you. And you know what? Health, according to WHO, is a state of complete physical, mental, social well being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. So, your mental health is part of your health at large. So, let's look at it. Number one, what, based on the definition of health, are you healthy? That is such a strong question. If yes, how? If no, how? Now, if you say, I'm healthy, I'm fully healthy, well, tell me how you're healthy. How is your mental health? How is your social life, social health? How is your physical health? All right. So, your physical health is not just the fact that you're not feeling physical symptoms. Are you exercising? Are you sleeping well? How many hours of sleep do you get? How do you feel in social environment? Are you claustrophobic? That means, do you get overwhelmed when you are surrounded by many people, right? So these are the different things that you begin to access when you want to look at if you are truly healthy. Number two, what does wholeness mean to you, and can you describe it? So don't just tell me wholeness means being whole. Tell me what wholeness really means to you. Wholeness for me is a complete absence of physical, mental, social, emotional diseases, so every, and financial diseases as well. So if I'm describing it, I have enough money to meet my needs and spare. I'm emotionally sound. I'm not going through any hidden traumas, and I'm healed of past experiences and past diseases and all of that. And then my physical health, I'm physically sound, I'm exercising, I'm doing all that I need to do to be completely whole. All right. So that is that. Number three, are you mentally sound? So when we talk about your mental health, are you sleeping well? Do you feel overwhelmed, or are you able to make clear decisions? Do you feel depressed or unusually sad? Are you fully engaged at work? Are you being distracted easily? So we need to look at your distractibility. Are you distracted? What is distracting you? How is it distracting you? And how is the distraction affecting the total outlook of your life or your productivity? And like I told you, I think one of the days I said we're going to be looking at productivity as part of positioning to elevate for 2023, and I will be giving you a productivity and e-productivity workbook that I worked on in the middle of this year. I was able to build a productivity journal, not workbook, a productivity journal, to help me to be able to articulate my thoughts and help me really see if I was being productive and if I was being able to do the things I needed to do when I needed to do them, where I needed to do them, and how I needed to do them. All right. So, how often do you get sick? That's a question that we need to ask. Why do you get sick? So, what are your most frequent symptoms? For example, you have malaria every month. Why are you getting malaria every month? The environment that you live, it's probably not a good environment. And what are the predominant symptoms that tells you this is malaria again? It could be fever, it could be bitter taste in your mouth. You see, this is you being self-aware, this is you self-evaluating, this is you paying attention to yourself and now saying, this is the problem and this is what I need to do to be able to fix the problem. And then describe your eating habits. How often do you eat junk food or high sugar drinks? How frequently do you drink water? Do you take fruits at all? Do you do what other drinks do you take outside of things like Coke or Fanta or Pepsi? These high sugar drinks, do you have times for juices or smoothies? Do you do cleansing with your diet? There are certain cleansing diets. So what kind of diet are you on? Something to really think about. How often do you frequent how frequently do you visit the hospital, and why do you go to the hospital as frequently or as little as you do? What are your biases that you have about the medical system? So some people believe, oh, Nigeria has a failed medical system. I don't go to the hospital because I know that going to the hospital I will come back sick even when I am healthy. I don't have to go to the hospital if I don't have symptoms, and even if I have symptoms I would prefer to go to a pharmacist than going to a hospital. Now these are personal biases that people have. I recommend as a medical doctor that you have a medical check twice a year for your complete body check. So just go and check your body, because some things are asymptomatic. So there may be no symptoms to them, but when you go for a yearly physical check, then your doctor can examine you from head to toe and know if everything is in place or if it's not. Then, how much do you weigh? What's your BMI? Check online on how to find it. I want you, because I'm going to be looking out. Medicine is my turf. I'm a medical doctor, so I will be looking at responses for this one. What's your BMI? What's your average blood pressure? Do you even check your blood pressure? How often do you check your BP? That's blood pressure. When last did you check your blood sugar? Are you diabetic or are you borderline diabetic? Do you work out? How often do you work out? What's your workout regimen targeted towards? So there are some people that say, oh, I'm working for my arms. Some people say I'm working for my abs. Some people say I'm working for my legs. Some people say, you know what, I just want general fitness, so I'm working for my whole body. So you need to know what's your workout targeted towards, what body part is focused on during your workout. And then some of us don't exercise because we believe, I'm skinny, I will always stay skinny. So what are your biases towards exercising? Maybe gym membership is expensive. Exercise is for rich people or people that want to lose weight. What are your biases? You need to know your biases. And then, find out. Everybody needs to exercise to keep fit, whether it's dancing for 30 minutes a day, whether it's jumping for 30 minutes, whether it's going for a walk in the evening with your loved ones. That helps you to just stay fit and burn some fat and all of that, instead of being sedentary and sitting from morning till night. Then, are you investing in your health? What are your investments towards your health and wholeness? How much are you setting aside every year towards your health? And do you have health insurance? Oh my God. This is one subject that is so overwhelming, because the Nigerian system or the African system does not believe in insurance, because you feel like insurance is asking for it to happen, but that is not so. When you have an insurance, it just means that things like the body checks are done frequently. Things like the annual physical, yearly physicals. And then in times of emergency, you have a system of getting treated without actually having to spend as much money as you would pay out of pocket if you had to pay for the service by yourself. And so when we begin to pay attention to things like health insurance, we're preparing for the future, we're preparing for emergencies, and then we're taking proactive steps towards our health. So how much are you spending in your health? Some people are hypertensive and they don't realize that they are hypertensive until they have a high blood pressure heart attack and fall and die. And then the question becomes, oh, nobody knew that he was hypertensive and he just died like that. Recently I just had a neighbor pass on because he had a heart attack, and nobody was close by to help him. He was hypertensive for years and not on any medication. Things like this, you have to intentionally take proactive steps, especially once you hit age 40. You become intentional about your health and exercising, and just going on walks, ensuring that you're staying fit and you're moving, and you're not sedentary. That means you're not staying in one place for a long time. And 40-year-olds mostly have managerial positions. And so when you're in those positions, you're not as active as you used to be in your younger days. And so that means that you now have to be proactive about your own health and taking the bull by the horn and taking actions on what should be done, when it should be done, and how it should be done. So I want you to go through these questions intentionally. I am very passionate about health and medicine. I'm sure some of you have never heard me talk about things like this before. You're like, oh my God, she's talking about it like it is personal. Yes, it is personal. I have a degree to prove it. So go through it over and over again. And you know what? Share it with your family, share it with your loved ones, have them do it, have them fill out the workbook and ask them, so that they can actually begin to consider these things. Because, for example, people after a certain age, beef, that's red meat, is not encouraged anymore for them. And then a certain portion of meat should be taken daily. And then this statement, ignorance is bliss, not always, because it can actually be disastrous in the long term. Anyways, I'd love to read from you, and I will be sitting pretty in your chat, going through your course as you go through it. So until I see you, bye for now.